If you want to play exactly like Neymar, you need to know what made him special: the creativity, freedom, and fearlessness that turned a skinny street kid into a world-class dribbler. It all started on the streets of São Vicente and Praia Grande, Brazil, where Neymar learned football the hard way, barefoot against older kids on rough concrete. There were no coaches telling him what drills to do. The streets were his training ground. Every day, he'd dribble through chaos, broken ground, small spaces, no rules. The ball became a part of his body. He learned balance, rhythm, and body feints by pure survival. Street football isn't about systems or tactics. It's about expression, creativity, and confidence. And that's exactly what Neymar built from day one. Then came Santos FC, where raw skill met structure. That's where he learned when to use his flair and when to strike. He sharpened his first touch, finishing, and quick combinations. While most young players played safe, Neymar experimented. He'd try outrageous things in training: back heels, nutmegs, sudden stops, and coaches realized this wasn't arrogance, it was innovation. When he turned professional, the pressure exploded. At 17, he wasn't just a player, he was carrying the hopes of a country obsessed with football. But instead of shrinking, he performed. Why? Because he'd been performing under pressure since the streets, when losing meant getting kicked, laughed at, and challenged again. His first defining trait was creativity under pressure. Neymar's genius wasn't just in tricks, it was in improvisation. When defenders closed him down, he didn't panic, he invented. He'd slow the game, freeze defenders with a body feint, then explode with pace. His style came from feeling the game, not memorizing patterns. Most players think too much when they dribble. Neymar reacts. His movements come from instinct, rhythm, and flair. Watch his body language, the way he sells a fake with his shoulders, how he changes tempo mid-dribble. It's not random, it's rhythm-based deception. If you want to develop this, stop copying highlight reels. Go play in tight spaces. Futsal, street, 1v1s. Force yourself to create solutions instead of repeating patterns. Don't chase perfection, chase unpredictability. Because Neymar's magic isn't about how many tricks he does, it's about how unreadable he is. The second quality that made young Neymar elite was balance and body control. He's not the fastest or strongest, but he moves like water. Every movement is fluid, every change of direction effortless. While most players run straight lines, Neymar glides. He can stop instantly, twist his hips, and escape through impossible gaps. That control came from futsal and hours of body coordination drills, balancing on one leg, dancing footwork, freestyle touches. He trained his lower body to move independently from his upper body. That's why he can fake one direction with his chest and go the other with his feet. If you want Neymar level balance, your focus shouldn't be only on sprints. It should be on control at every speed. Practice dribbling slow, fast, then stop instantly. Train your hips, ankles, and knees to react together. Your goal isn't just speed, it's flow. The third trait, and this one's underrated, is spatial creativity. Neymar doesn't just see defenders, he sees possibilities. While most players look for open space, Neymar creates it. He uses small touches to manipulate defenders' positions. One tiny movement and he's opened a new lane. He constantly scans, but not like a traditional midfielder. He's reading body shapes, not just spaces. He knows exactly when the defender's weight shifts forward. That's his cue to strike. That's why he makes defenders fall without even touching the ball sometimes. To build this skill, you need to train your vision, not by staring at the ball, but by feeling where pressure is coming from. Practice scanning with your peripheral vision. Train 1v1s where you can't rely on speed, only on deception. Next comes composure and confidence, the soul of Neymar's game. Most players lose confidence after a few fouls or missed chances. Neymar thrives in chaos. When he gets kicked, he smiles. Not because it doesn't hurt, but because he knows he's inside their heads. His confidence isn't fake. It's built from repetition, thousands of hours mastering ball control until it became an extension of his body. When the ball sticks to your foot like that, confidence becomes natural. And when people say he dives, they miss the point. Neymar learned to protect himself. He grew up where tackles came from every direction. The ability to fall and recover fast keeps him alive on the pitch. What truly made Neymar different wasn't just his skills, it was his mindset. He didn't just play football, he performed it. Every touch, every trick, every flick of his foot was an act of expression. expression, not just technique. Where most players see football as a job, Neymar treats it like art. When he steps on the pitch, it's not about statistics or records, it's about feeling. You can see it in the way he moves, how he teases defenders, how he smiles after being fouled. He turns pressure into a playground. That's why people can't take their eyes off him. He brings joy into a game that so many treat like work. Critics often call him a show-off. They say he dives, he taunts, he plays too much, but they don't understand the roots of his style. Neymar grew up in the streets of Brazil, where football isn't just competition, it's survival and self-expression. On the streets, you don't just win by scoring, you win by making people remember you. Every dribble, every nutmeg, every feint is a statement. That's where Neymar's identity was built, not from coaches, but from creativity. His flair isn't arrogance, it's communication. It's how he speaks to the world without words. When he humiliates a defender with one move, it's not about disrespect, it's about dominance through creativity. He knows football is psychological. When you can beat a defender in style, you break his confidence. And once that happens, you own the match. That's the secret most players never understand. Football is played with the body, but controlled by the mind. Neymar mastered both. His biggest weapon isn't his speed or dribbling, it's his fearlessness. He'll try things others are scared to even imagine. Back heels in pressure, flicks in tight spaces, impossible runs through crowds. And when they work, the stadium explodes. When they don't, he shrugs and tries again. That's what real confidence looks like. For Neymar, confidence doesn't come from people cheering or coaches praising him. It comes from expression, not approval. He doesn't play to impress, he plays to enjoy. That's why even in the biggest matches, Champions League nights, World Cups, El Clásicos, he stays calm. Because for him, pressure doesn't exist when you love what you're doing. That's what separates him from almost everyone else. When most players feel the weight of expectations, Neymar feels freedom. When others fear making mistakes, he sees opportunity. His mindset is built on joy, and joy kills fear. If you want to play like Neymar, you need that same attitude. You can train your technique, your dribbling, your control, but without his mindset, it'll never look or feel the same. Play with freedom, take risks, smile when the pressure rises, because Neymar doesn't just play football, he lives it. If you ever want to play like Neymar, remember this. Football isn't only about control, it's about freedom with control. And all that creativity would mean nothing without his daily discipline. Neymar trains like a showman, but lives like a professional. He eats clean, sleeps properly, and takes recovery like a religion. Behind the tattoos and celebrations is a player obsessed with staying fit enough to keep expressing himself. He understands something most players ignore. If your body breaks, your creativity dies. That's why his real training isn't just with the ball. It's how he treats his body. Stretching, mobility, balance, and mind control. And this is what separates Neymar from 99% of flashy players. He made art functional. So if you want to play like young Neymar, start where he started. On small streets, in tight spaces, where mistakes cost you the ball. Learn rhythm before speed. Control before power. Train alone, but train like you're in front of thousands. Dribble until your body moves without thinking. Practice creativity until it becomes instinct, because Neymar didn't become Neymar by following rules. He became Neymar by breaking them beautifully. Now this is just part 1. In the next part, I'll break down exactly how to train like Neymar, drills for body feints, rhythm control, agility, and creativity under pressure. If you want that part fast, just comment part 2 and I'll drop it sooner.